Hi, and welcome to History's a Blast. As those of you who tune in regularly know, we joined the RV community last year with a new camping trailer. It's part of a new line from Rockwood called GeoPro. And with 50 days camping in it now under our belt, we thought we'd pause in our series about our trip through history in Northwest Ohio this past summer and share some sights and scenes, experiences, and thoughts about our new GeoPro that we took on that journey. It has to have a name, so come along and meet Meriwether. The GeoPro is a series of lightweight but sturdily built travel trailers, the largest of which, at 19 feet long, are well within the rated towing capacity of a mid-sized pickup or SUV. We chose the 19 FD, 19 feet long, with a pull-down queenish size Murphy bed. It's not completely queen size, but queenish size Murphy bed, and couch arrangement that we find to be ideal as it avoids the need for a slide out, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's set the Wayback Machine to delivery day and the last weekend of freedom from COVID. We picked up our 19 FD at the Camping World of Pittsburgh this morning. We had an extra 100-watt solar panel installed on the roof and two 12-volt lead-acid storage batteries. Maybe someday we'll upgrade to LiFePO, lithium iron phosphate, but for the time being, we'll just go with the standard lead-acid batteries. Okay, time for a battery sidebar. Cue the fall foliage be-reel. Now this is going to take about 2.5 minutes, so if you're not a newbie, you might want to fast forward that far. Now, left on their own, RV dealerships will install the cheapest thing they can find, which means a single 12-volt marine or dual-purpose flooded lead-acid battery. Even though the stock battery box on the tongue holds two, that's exactly what was standard in the purchase agreement, so we paid for a second one. But when you consider that drawing these batteries below 50% capacity damages the cells, two lead-acid batteries equal the theoretical capacity of one. All in all, we probably had a total of 65 amp hours when fully charged, which was enough to operate the water pump, get us through a few hours of TV before bedtime, run the blower in the propane furnace on a cold night, and still be safely above 50% when the sun hit the solar panels next day. By the way, you're welcome to spend as many hours as I have watching YouTube experts explain amps versus watts versus volts until your brain is dripping from your ears. I won't do that here. Now, flooded means that they are the age-old style filled with distilled water that must be checked and topped off every 3 months or so. They are not maintenance-free, they do not handle vibration well, and they give off toxic gas when being charged, all of which means they need to be outside the cabin and are not ideal for towed trailers that you might want to take off the paved road from time to time. Of course, you can purchase a better alternative and have the dealer install that, but you have to know enough to make the right decision ahead of time. And even then, anything other than installing a like-size battery in the box provided by the manufacturer is probably going to be beyond the capability of any non-specialist east of the Mississippi River because there's no solar here. Then there's the issue of weight on the tongue. We wanted to replace the two 12-volt dual-purpose batteries with a pair of true deep-cycle 6-volt golf cart batteries wired in series that would give us 3 or 4 times the amp hours, but at twice the weight of two 12-volt batteries. We're talking the difference between 90 pounds and 160 pounds here. That's fine for camper vans and fifth-wheel trailers, but prohibitive for a lightweight tow-behind trailer. So at the end of the day, we decided to replace the stock batteries with a pair of sealed AGM dual-purpose batteries. I'll leave it to you to Google AGM. They are only slightly higher in capacity, about 75 amp hours, and about 2.5 times more per battery in cost, but they are maintenance-free, much more tolerant of abuse, and only slightly heavier than the flooded batteries they replaced. Maintenance-free, that's a good thing. Enough said? Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I can't say enough about the quality of the experience at the Camping World of Pittsburgh in Apollo, Pennsylvania. During the walkthrough, literally during the walkthrough, the television function on the entertainment system malfunctioned, and we couldn't get a picture. And by the time we had gone in and gone through the delivery paperwork and all that jazz and came back out, our tech had actually swapped out the bad unit for a new unit, and we now have all functions, the DVD player and the broadcast or the antenna TV functions perfectly. We're up here in the middle of nowhere, and with that antenna on the roof, we're getting a fairly good signal, although we had some storms come through late this afternoon, and the signal was pretty pixelated, but that's going to happen with when you're going with the broadcast antenna. Okay, let's do a quick walkthrough and we'll show you a few things we've added so far. It's pretty basic. Some of these shots were on move-in day, so be kind. The Murphy bed and couch are right up front. The bed does not lock the door when it's down. And pass-through storage is under the couch, which also flips up for access from inside. Here is the bed down and made, with our Tabitha making herself at home. The little wardrobe closets on either side of the bed have hanging loops for coat hangers, but no shelves. We got the idea for these hanging soft shelves by StorageWorks from one of the GeoPro Facebook groups that are out there. More on that later. Tabitha is a great traveler, but not so good on fabric-covered furniture. We got this pet cover for the couch and a pair of narrower ones for the dinette seats from SureFit. They don't fit exactly, but they've worked well enough. Moving into the kitchen and dinette area, we haven't made any modifications. We do have a quilted mat that we lay on the glass stovetop cover for air drying dishes, and it goes under the cover while traveling to act as a pad against damage to the glass from lumps, bumps, and potholes. And we put some command hooks in strategic places to hold things like a fly swatter, an essential item by the way, hot pads, keys, and jackets. A major selling feature for us is the full shower bath with a spacious knee tub. This is also where Tabitha's litter box goes. There's a plastic tub mat under there to keep litter granules from getting in the drain. A folding stool from Rollier's hardware store in a nearby Pittsburgh suburb helps our senior kitty get in and out of the tub. Outside there's a nice 13-foot electric awning, under which we enjoyed much time enjoying historical beverages. And camp food prepared on a 17-inch tabletop gas griddle that's included in the deal. You can set it up on a table, or it can be mounted on a hefty bracket that slides into a rail on the sidewall. There's room also for a metal prep table there, and there's a special gas line run from the propane tanks to right underneath where the griddle mounts, so that you can plug the griddle right into that special attachment. I seasoned it following directions in one of the myriad YouTube videos on the subject, and soon discovered that I had missed my true vocation, short order cook. Earlier I mentioned our joining a GeoPro owners group on Facebook. We've been very pleased with the GeoPro and ePro owners group. ePro, by the way, is a line of the same trailers made by another Rockwood subsidiary, Forest River, or is it the other way around? So named for corporate reasons that escape us. Anyway, a member of this group sells nifty peel and stick decals for a nominal price, and we found the perfect spot for ours. The Facebook presence was quite helpful one day when we came back from a walk to notice the docking lights were on, and we had no clue how they came on or where we could turn them off. Several responses within 5 minutes informed us that the switch is right next to the forward storage compartment on the driver's side, where it is easily turned on if one is not careful when opening that hatch. So that's a look at Meriwether. As we near the end of this episode, we want to share some of the great places we camped with Meriwether on our trip through Northwest Ohio and on the way home back in September. This was our lakeside campsite at Guilford Lake State Park, where we stopped to chill for a couple of nights on the last leg homeward. Not sure whether the sunsets or the sunrises were more beautiful. Tough choice. Now our campsite at Camp Perry, where we stayed while visiting Put-in Bay and other historic sites in and around Port Clinton on the Lake Erie shore, wasn't the most scenic. But we did make a couple of videos for your viewing pleasure and edification while there, and we hope you'll have a look at them if you haven't already. Another RV group that we joined is Harvest Hosts, a network of wineries, microbreweries, museums, and farms. And there's a golf course option too that offer free overnight RV camping off-grid. The only expectation is that you spend some money at their business while you're there. Now, most folks walk away with a bottle of wine or some produce, but I have to say that we were not so disciplined at the wineries we visited. The food at Sandy Ridge in Norwalk was so good that we went back for brunch the next morning. Cha-ching! And we have to admit that the same thing happened in our overnight stay at White Shutter Winery and Brewery near Upper Sandusky. Good company and good wines and suds. And the sunset that night was just amazing. Lastly, we had a fun time at McDonald's Greenhouse and Corn Maze outside Zanesville on our homeward journey. We'll let our narrator tell the story. At McDonald's Greenhouse and petting zoo, they have pumpkins and other produce, plus entertainment. Good last night on solar. We didn't use very much, but we were at 74% this morning. We didn't run the heater until this morning when it was time to get out of bed. The overnight low last night on this September the 20th was 39 degrees here, so we were comfortable with our blankets. See the roots? Like an education. Ooh, a three-way. Goes that way, and Miss Debbie goes this way. Okay. Oh, look at the cat. Oh, it's Norman!
Oh my gosh, it doesn't look like Norman.
It's
Look
Norman.
at those eyelashes.
It's Norman from City Slickers. Bouncing gym and people bouncing up and down on it. Actually, good for us. You have a nice little educational. There's a Massey Ferguson 35 Deluxe. The sign there says it's a 1952 model. The case, which is sort of unpainted now. The case. 1952. When you buy from a small business, you're not helping a CEO buy a third home. Nice hand-painted signs, Indian corn bundles. Hold up the Indian corn wreaths. Indian corn wreaths and my favorite season, Hello Autumn. That's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed this video and will take time to view some of our other ones. Thanks for watching. Please click the thumbs up icon to like the video and share with your friends via email or social media. I'd love to have you subscribe, and if you do, please click the little bell icon so you'll get notifications whenever I post a new video. Goodbye.